All right, this is episode 5 of the California Conspiracy Podcast. I'm Hernan, and some of you might be wondering why my co host isn't here. And to give you guys some answers, I'm just going to tell you to watch the video called Update. It'll explain everything. Um, but to begin the non scary segment, I have a story from Reddit that I think you guys will enjoy. And, well, there's nothing really else to say, so let's just begin. Alright, this comes from r/am I the asshole public. The title is Am I the asshole for letting my daughter keep her room? My 47M daughter Stacy, 15F, has only one of 2 rooms in my house with an ensuite bathroom. It's a luxurious room with a nice bay window, obviously very nice. I recently became engaged to my girlfriend of 3 years, Alice, 33F, and her landlord has recently hiked her rent. So we're planning to have her move in with me. She has some kids. She has 2 daughters, 13F, 10F, and 2 sons, 11M, 9M. She is also pregnant with our daughter due in 5 months. I've made it absolutely clear to my daughter as a condition of getting her approval on moving my girlfriend in that she is allowed to keep her room, and she is also allowed to have a full lock on her door. For what it's worth, I also got my son 24M blessed to give away his old room. Although that's more of a mood point, as he lives with his own girlfriend now. My daughter plans to go to school locally, and I have told her in no uncertain terms that she's welcome to live at home for the rest of my life. And after she can inherit the house. I bought the house with her mother and paid it off in large part with the mother's life insurance 10 years ago. So it only seems fair. She says she's alright as long as she has her room and her bathroom, and she's allowed to put a lock on her door. She also has a toaster oven and a mini fridge in there, so I guess she's pretty well set up. Stacy will be giving up a room that she's currently using as a studio / project space. She does art, videos, and voiceovers, etc. Even her large room will become a bit more cramped, and she'll definitely need the extra space she has. There will be a bedroom for Alice's girls, Stacy's old project room, and Alice's boys will be getting my son's old room. I'm going to be putting in a finished nursery / bedroom in the basement for our new daughter. Alice thinks that it is unfair. She thinks that it is wrong of me to make the decision without her. And she also thinks that she should move her 2 daughters into Stacy's room, and that Stacy should have to move into the smaller room that they'll be getting. The 2 of them already share a smaller room that the one I'm moving them into as it is, so they are getting an upgrade regardless. Alice thinks that it's unfair for Stacy to have a bathroom all day herself, and that there won't be enough bathrooms for everyone else. She also disapproves of Stacy being able to lock everyone out. There were other smaller things she didn't like that I agreed to with Stacy, like the fact that she is to be paid for any babysitting, or the fact that my older car, her mom's older car, is hers when she gets her driver's license. We'll have our own bathroom in the master bedroom, and the house has 3 older bathrooms besides one on each floor. One near what will be her girls' rooms, one not far from what be the boys' rooms, and one little basic be direct next to the new finished room. I told Alice that the deal with Stacy is non-negotiable, set in stone, and that it's literally a condition of hers even moving in. Alice is upset that Stacy and I both have spaces completely detached to ourselves, dedicated to ourselves. I have my office, which I need because of work, because I work from home and have projects besides, and there aren't a whole lot of other spaces to put people. I told her that she can pretty much do whatever she wants in the living room, but that it is what it is, and that's pretty much nothing, and that there's pretty much nothing to be done about it. A bigger house is not an option unless Alice is going to start making a hell of a lot more money and buy her own bigger house. It's already a pretty big house, and housing is expensive. I told her that she's already getting a break by only expecting her to contribute 15 or 20% of the household bills. If we were if we were doing it proportionally, it would be more like 25 to 30%. We keep separate finances, and we've agreed to a prenup. Alice just seems upset that I won't change the setup, even though there's no real way to change it. And she's accused me of treating Stacy like a spoiled little princess and letting her be queen of the house. Frankly, my daughter comes first. She's lived there all her life, and I already know it's going to be a big adjustment having all these kids move in. As much as I love Alice, and as much as I want our relations to work out, if it's a matter of choosing between them two, then my relationship with Alice is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I've told her that if she comes into this with wicked stepmother vibes, and that and that and that'll be the end of things. She thinks I'm being unreasonable. Am I the asshole? Now, to give my opinion, I personally believe he's not the asshole. I mean, Alice, the wife, she's moving into a house that Stacy's lived there first. You know, you always gotta ask your child if it's okay for them to move in. She's moving into their house, and I guess Stacy's she's already a teenager. You know, she's older. I do believe some kids should get their own spaces for privacy reasons and all that. And I just feel like it's not really her say. And I don't think it's really, it's fair to have an opinion, right? But she shouldn't really make all the Alice shouldn't really make all the decisions on a house that she's moving into. I mean, regardless, they're getting an upgrade, so I don't know why she's complaining, because they are getting an upgrade. Like OP said in the post, that it's bigger, and regardless, it's an update. So I don't really know why she's complaining all that much. But as that's up to you guys, you should tell me in the comments if you think he's the asshole or not. Frankly, I believe he's not. All right, to move on with the non-scary segment. All right, we're gonna do another one from r/Am I the Asshole? And the title is Am I the Asshole for wanting my husband to get snipped? Alright, I think you guys are gonna actually like this. My husband, 33M, and I, 31F, have 4 kids. I almost had a stroke during the birth of our baby a year ago. Oh shit. He has even said that he wants no more kids at all. I asked him to get a vasectomy while I was pregnant, so after we wouldn't have to worry about having any more, but he never got around to do it. Now, in just the years since I had our last baby, I've had hepatitis C scheduled. I'm sorry guys, I don't really know how to say this word. I'm just gonna skip it. Scheduled for next summer, so I was like, okay, cool, but not going to bother him about it. But I've also had a IUD taken out and a new one put in 3 times. This last one being this past Thursday. The doctor even put the number for vasectomy consultation on my papers for my husband to call, because even he sees the shit my birth control is putting me through, and it would be better if I just got off all forms together. I can't do pills, patches, shots because of my blood pressure. I haven't said anything. I joked about the doctor putting the number in after visit papers, but I wouldn't be lying if I said him just blowing me off wasn't pissing me off. All he said is he's afraid it's gonna hurt, but at the same time expects me to go in and get shit shoved through my cervix. I feel like an asshole for wanting him to do it, but at the same time, obviously, I'm not doing good with our current birth control methods. Edited. So this is the edit part. I don't have an answer this a bunch more times. My hercectomy, I'm sorry, guy. I do apologize. Is medically needed, not for birth control. I have a few issues, but the big one is adimitalis. I'm sorry, guys. There's just a bunch of big words here, and I just don't know how to pronounce them. But no more periods and no baby risk is a plus. I can't move the surgery. My baby is too little for me to be able to love her for 3 months. She just turned 1 in July. My doctor said I wouldn't be able to lift anything more than a bath towel for 12 weeks. I also have to get my blood pressure under control before my surgery. I want him to get a vasectomy because I know he won't wait until after my surgery and the 12 weeks after. Condoms are no, because a torn condom is how our oldest was born. And am I forcing him? No. This is pissing me off, yes. But his only reason is been that it'll hurt. Also, three kids are from me. One is my husband's daughter, but I count her as mine. Alright, so this is kind of a wild one. But I just really don't know what to say cause wow. Basically I'm just gonna do a summary just to help myself out. So she wants her husband to get a vasectomy because they don't want any more kids, and apparently I think the birth control is hurting her, or just bad in general. I don't really know. But to give my opinion, it is the husband's opinion, because it is up to the husband, because it is his body, his thing, and ultimately he should get to say. But like at the same time, you gotta account for your wife too, because she's doing much of the suffering, and it does sound that, and his only reason is that he thinks it'll hurt, which I'd probably think that too, because it's getting your. I don't really know how this. I know how vasectomy works, and just the thought of me getting a vasectomy is just frightening. It's I don't know. It just freaks me out. Just having surgery on that particular sensitive part, and I can understand from the husband, because I don't want nobody going near that thing. I don't want no sharp tools going near that thing. But guys, give me your opinion and all that. I'm just gonna say she's. Oh, this is tough. I don't know if she's the asshole or not. It's because she's not forcing him, so I'm just gonna say in the middle. Because she is. I feel like mentioning it a lot, but I'm pretty sure. But the thing is that is pretty reasonable, because she is suffering. So I'm just gonna say in the middle, more of towards not the asshole. As you guys know, please write down in the comments if you agree with this or not. Do you think she's the asshole? Do you think she's not? What do you think of the husband? Alright, guys, it has been 14 minutes right now, so I'm just gonna take a little break, recharge, get my notes for this scary segment, because it is almost 15 minutes, and so sorry for my Xbox. So as I said, the videos are probably gonna be 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna cut it off half here and get ready for the scary segment. And I just will tell you guys, I have worked on this, and I hope you guys do like it. It's just this topic or scary story I'm not coming with researched about. It's pretty wild. All right. I'm just gonna take a little break. See you guys later. All right, guys, I'm back from a break. I got some water just to clear my throat and stuff. just so I don't mess up as much. Again, I do apologize, guys. And this does mark the beginning of the scary segment. So I'm gonna be these stories gonna be serious. No, not much jokes or nothing like that. So just turn off the lights, get ready, and here we go. Now, before I do get into the story or the crime, I'm gonna call it, that I did my research on and create a script for. I do have a little bit of Reddit stories here. As you probably know, not am I the asshole, more of just scary, you know. We're gonna read a couple of these, just as a saving the best for last type of thing. All right, these stories come from r/ask Reddit. It's serious. Reddit. What's your most disturbing, scary, or creepy true story? All right, and I didn't pre-read any of these. All right, so we're just gonna both get into it. All right. This one comes from Soup for Brunch. Alright. In 3rd grade, I had this strange short teacher named Miss Todd. She was always super nice to me in class. She'd always call on me to do the fun activities first, compliment me on whatever I did something. She was genuinely just positive towards me. At the time, I thought she was perhaps my favorite person in the world. I remember even telling my mother about how much I love Miss Todd. Anyways, one day I sat down at my desk and opened it. Was a Victoria's Secret magazine sitting in the pull-out drawer. The kid sitting next to me noticed how shocked I was. I thought I was going to get in trouble, and we started talking about how I might have gone there. Almost immediately, Miss Todd walks up and asks, "What have you got there?" I was seriously confused and told her it was sitting on my desk when I got here this morning. Well, she looks at me and tells me that the kid sitting next to me must have put it there. She kept repeating that statement over and over to both him and me, until I finally admitted that I guess he could have put it there. Maybe a few days later after that, she approached me after class to tell me that this special field trip I could go on if I kept doing good in her class. It would be a trip with just her and I to the Gulf of Mexico for the weekend. I remember being really excited about it at the time. However, suddenly, she got replaced at school, and we got a new teacher that didn't like me as much. I was so heartbroken at the time. It wasn't until many years later that I realized how fucked up that situation was. It scares me thinking about it still. Wow, wow. It does go to show how some of these teachers can be really creepy and stuff, you know. It just shows how a kid could easily just get kidnapped just like that, or obviously some worse can happen. And I guess it just does mean you guys gotta be people gotta protect their kids more. I mean, it's just crazy. This kid thought she was the nicest person ever, and until he later figured out what she was really doing there. Wow. All right, we're gonna get into the next story. It's from Sarcast Assholes. All right. When I was about 8 years old, during recess at school, I noticed a bunch of other kids outside the storage room yelling and warning to others not to approach the door because there was an eyeball staring back at you. I was curious because I didn't understand what they meant, but I could see their fear was real because their faces were pale white, as if they would try to deter me from taking a peek through the keyhole. I remember bending down slightly so I could get a closer look inside, and sure enough, there was an eyeball staring back at me, and it freaked me out so much I peed my pants on the spot. It was only later in the day after I had ended up at the nurse's office because of the commotion us kids had created, that a janitor had to go into the room to inspect what the whole mess was. Turns out that someone had placed a mirror against the door, and the eyeball staring at us was a reflection. I mean, that it. I don't really consider that a scary story, more of a prank. But just wow. I mean, that is kind of funny how some kid got so scared of his own eyeball that he wet himself. I mean, that's not really scary. That's more funny. But I mean, if I saw an eyeball staring back at me, I'd probably get freaked out too. To be honest with you guys. All right, this is the last story before I get into my other story, the last one. It comes from Comsumpit Mary or Competitive Mary. I'm sorry, guys. When I was 7 years old, I was walking to my babysitter's house all by myself. She only lived a block from the schoolyard. I've done it all the time. This car pulls up beside me on the road, and the driver keeps gesturing me to come closer and shouting, "Come here! Come here!" I'm frozen on the sidewalk and shaking my head no, while my knuckles turn white, clenching to my backpack. All he says before driving is, "Stay away from Christina," and then I never saw him again. Christina was one of my again/off again friends in grade school, along with another girl who altered between hating me and being buddy-buddy. I had completely forgotten about it after a while, and then went on again, off again with both of them. In 5th grade, the other girl invited me to the pop machine in the back hall at lunch. Cool, okay. Quality time with a girl I've known since I was a baby, sure. When we get back to the classroom, Christina tells me that people were playing with my lunch and hid my stuff, but she was nice enough to bring it back to me. I started drinking the pop I brought for lunch, and something was really off. I spit it out and ran for the water fountain to rinse my mouth out. Turns out Christina and her sister had topped up my drink with Linsol. If I drank much more, I probably would have been stupidly sick. The police were called, and a restraining was put on both of them. It was delightful, effective. However, because the school was so small, there were no separate classes to put them in. They got 3 and 4 day suspensions. I had no idea if the two events were related, who that man was, or how he knew how bad Christina was at the time, but memory sticks to me to this day. Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't know what Linsol is, but it sounds really bad, It sounds like some type of medicine, which honestly, you shouldn't really... Well, my question is, how did, Christina get that? I mean, hold on, I'm gonna switch it over now, but I just really don't know how she got that. I mean, if it's something so sick, something that can make you so sick, I don't know how, she got that. Wait a minute. Oh, I see what it is. So it turns out that it's not medicine or type of alcohol or chemical. It's actually just a cleaning product. Huh. Yeah, it's a cleaning product. I'm pretty sure she used maybe she said she put it in her drink or pop, which is probably a soda can. So I'm pretty sure she got the liquid powder or liquid form. But yeah, it just looks like a cleaning product. There's powder, spray, I think disinfectant wipes. But I guess that does answer my question how she got it. Her mom probably used it to clean or whatever. But it kind of shocks me at how these two girls are behaving. I mean, to go to a point where you like actually, and I'm being so serious, try to poison someone. That's just really messed up and some very strange behavior. I mean, well, yeah, they did get the cops calling them and the restraining order and all that. But it almost feels like I wonder if they like ever went to therapy or something to figure out why they did this. Because I mean, this is very strange and very what's the word? Fearing behavior or something like that. But yeah, it's just really creepy how these girls would do this. I wonder why, but who knows? But who knows? Maybe it's just these girls are crazy. Alright, now we're getting into the story that I did my research on. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna turn the lights on because I did write a script for this. Alright. The story is called The Bobbitts. On June 18th, 1989, two people got married. Their names were John and Lorena Bobbitt. Their marriage was good at first, but then things started to change. John would disappear for days. He would do drugs. He became an alcoholic and would cheat with multiple women, according to Lorena. Lorena would ask questions, obviously with concern because she is his wife. She would ask these questions, but this would only infuriate John. Causing him to beat Lorena. He would physically, mentally, emotionally abuse Lorena. She was fearing for her life. Lorena would call the police multiple times, but she would never file a report. She fell into the honeymoon phase, as she put it. It's where she would believe that someday John, would change, but he never did. On June 23rd, 1993, John would come home very intoxicated from drinking at the bar. Lorena was sleeping in their bedroom when John enters the room and sexually abuses Lorena. After he was done, he passed out, sleeping next to Lorena. And this was basically her breaking point. Lorena went down to the kitchen to get a glass of water, just to calm down, just to process what happened. And when she went down, she saw a large kitchen knife on the counter. And this is where she just loses it. She would grab the kitchen knife and go upstairs to the bedroom and stand next to a sleeping John. And this is when she would cut off his penis. When she does this, John wakes up, but he was actually but he didn't initially know what was going on because of the alcohol in his system. When Lorena noticed this, she ran out of the apartment and drove off with the penis in hand. Lorena states that she tried to make a turn, but she couldn't because she had something in her hand. When she realized that there was a severed body part in her hand, she just freaked out and threw it into a field and just drove off. After she would do this, she would drive to her friend's place and confess everything. She would tell her the story of what happened to her, what she did, just everything. And after her friend hears the story, she would basically just call the police, as any normal person would. And when the police arrive, they just ask where they could find this body part. So Lorena tells them, so at 4 a.m. is when they begin the search in the field to locate John's severed body part. And at 4:30, they actually found it. And they actually found it because a police officer accidentally stepped on it. Yeah, funny enough, yeah. So, when they had this, they didn't know how to contain it. They didn't bring like a cooler with them. Basically, just no way to bring it to the hospital. But what they did do is that there was a 7-Eleven next to the field, right? So they walked into the 7-Eleven with the body part in hand and just got a hot dog container, filled it with ice, and put the thing on top. After they did this, they rushed it to the hospital so it could be reattached to John. Now, after all this happened, they were actually both charged and sent to court. Lorena was charged with, forgive me for this, she was actually charged with malicious wounding for cutting off John's thing. And John was actually charged with sexual marital abuse. Now, just to let you guys know, the story that I told you at the beginning was according to Lorena. She claims that all this happened, but John, he actually claims that none of this happened. That she was just crazy. He claims that he never abused her, and actually at the night of the incident, when he got home, he didn't do anything. He just went to bed, and that Lorena actually tried initiating sex. That she tried to, have sex with him, and that he just didn't want to do it, and he just fell asleep. He stated that she was, I think, unstable. Now, after, them being charged, Lorena was the only one to actually be charged, or the charges to be stuck, and her getting a punishment. While John, on the other hand, the charges didn't stick, so he got off free. Well, not scot free, because but you know what I'm saying. And because of this, they actually became a little famous. I mean, yeah, they became famous. They did multiple interviews, telling their side of the story, what happened. They actually both appeared on Steve Harvey. You can search it up on YouTube, where they tell their side of the story. So yeah, that's basically it. This woman just cuts off her husband's, thing. I will obviously pull up some pictures, or try to, just to show you guys what they look like. But this does mark the end of the first California Conspiracy episode. As always, guys, I hope you liked the episode. Please like and subscribe, because it does help me out. And if you guys just don't end up liking my content later on, you can always just unsubscribe. Thank you, guys.